best things that we have in the profession.
Thank you, my room. I just had my table in my room, and I was working from there.
There. I am a co-founder of the Excellent Nigerian Lawyers Guide. This is a program or an initiative which is essentially a community of young lawyers who are trying to find their path to excellence and trying to make sure that we don't do anything that makes us repeat the same mistakes that we have complained about in the legal profession. It's something that we hope will be a starting point for excellence. Now, I mean, starting points might be quite a stretch because there is a lot of good work being done in the profession, a lot of good work, a lot of people breaking barriers in. I mean, in the last couple of years, we've seen legal profession expand beyond just the regular, and then we're going into fintech, we're going into AI, we're going into major areas. So the question is, how do we take advantage of these opportunities? How do we as lawyers make sure that we are not, under shooting our potential? We don't, short leave our potential. And so that's why we're here. That's why we have, come together and made this so that we can also, find a way to be accountable to each other. The aim of this is not for us to, just come and bore everyone, but we want to create a community where we are accountable to each other and that we are able to help each another grow. And so because of that, we share resources as much as possible on our group chat. And I hope one of the goals that we have for the year is that becomes a little more active and that we're able to get more and more people on board and grow and help each other. It's non-profit. And so right away, the first thing I want to talk about is the programs that we have lined up. So in a week from now, which is the 25th of, less than a week actually, on the 25th of January, beg your pardon, 2025, we have a program coming up with an oil and gas expert. His name is Makana. He is somebody who worked with, that's the flyer coming up. He's coming to work with Olaniwa Ajayi for 3 years and is now with ENR Advisory, a firm that specializes in energy practice. And so we're going to have a series of energy law, contracts and drafting, contract and negotiation, I beg your pardon. But yeah, so the first things, we'll talk about the main things, boilerplate clauses, common issues in negotiation, pitfalls to avoid, litigious clauses, and then how to position yourself in the oil and gas industry, take advantage of the opportunities that exist. So that's the first thing that we have lined up. This is next week. So we'll be rolling out the link for registration shortly so that no one misses out. It's free. I commend the MBA for putting up initiatives like this, because for the free ones, I have been able to take advantage of these things immensely and attended quite a few. They're also on YouTube. So I felt that speaking to someone who is not just that, who's not so far, who's not at a partner level, but is also an expert in this sector will help each and every one of us. So please don't miss it. It's next Saturday by 11 a.m. I think that's a convenient time. We have this, don't worry, profiles are going to go out and then we'll try to, as much as possible, circulate that. Following that, we would also have a session with Chris, and this is on entertainment law. He is someone who has worked in the Bohemian law firm, and we are still yet to confirm the date, but we're looking at February 1st, which is the following Saturday. So basically for the next 2, 3, 4 weeks, we are going on, a crackdown and intense session where there would also be certificates if, that would help, because we understand that part of the process of getting knowledge is not just getting the knowledge, but proving that you have gotten the knowledge. So to that effect, we will try to help by, for what is worth, having certificates for people who are able to attend and interact. So as always, the last year, just for those who were not able to benefit last year we had a couple of webinars. We spoke with Festus Ogun, who was the principal partner of FO Legal. We also heard from DAA Idu, principal partner of Diego and Co. And then we heard from Nonso Azi, who is a foremost lawyer in the maritime sector. He spoke to us on, he gave us an overview and then how and general career talk. So these are the things that we do. We towards last year, our goal was more on finding your footing as lawyers, because a lot of us were just being called to the bar at the time. This year, we now want to cater to a wider range of participants. So we have something for law students, or lawyers in equity, who have taken the bar exams and are obviously going to be job hunting at this time. And realistically speaking, a lot of us are still job hunting, even though we are in jobs. We're looking for how to get to the next, or get to our desired opportunity. So now we have a program coming up in February called the New Week Handholding Session. It's going to be a 3-day event where we speak to intermediate level lawyers on how to find your footing in the sector. We also will be speaking to lawyers ourselves on contracts, negotiation, drafting. And for the purpose of this meeting, so that it's not just informative alone, we have also, so that I started with actually one of the things on the agenda, which is to inform everyone of the activities that we have coming up for 2025. Something else that I want to mention is training and learning opportunities. So I know that everyone has set New Year resolutions, and this period, everybody mocks resolutions and makes it feel like, oh, you're just saying it for saying sake. But they are really good because they help you monitor your progress for a particular time frame. However, saying that I want to become a better lawyer is not a goal. It's not a measurable goal. How do you now, ascertain how much better you've gotten? So it's an opportunity for us to also actually set targets. How many articles are you going to write this year? How many laws are you going to read this year? How many courses are you going to take this year? So personally, I intend to take at least 1 or 2 professional courses, maybe one of those ICSAN or CIPM, something like that. But I guess that the first thing I can do is to list the opportunities that are available. So personally, I have been using LinkedIn Learning. It's a platform which is, as the name implies, hosted by LinkedIn, which is really good because it has a large library of courses, that you can create according to your career path, right? So you have to decide what is it that you want to do. Even if you don't do that, I understand that we're young lawyers and it may not be possible to specialize at this stage. So what you can do, which is what I did, was that I took a lot of courses, and then as time, began to go, and then I started to understand that at this time, my specialty, or the area I find myself practicing more, is in corporate and energy law. I started to find energy and natural resources courses, which are actually there on LinkedIn. So the catch here is that it's a paid platform. I think it costs 12,000 naira per month, but it's not per course, which is good because if you're fast enough, or if you have free time on your hands, you can take as many courses as possible within that time. You can take, there are courses that are just an hour and you get a certificate for it. There are courses that are 9 hours, 10 hours, depending on what you want to do. So this is one aspect of it because it helps boost your profile if you're able to take these courses. I would also share the link so that you can get there. There is a cost, but also LinkedIn does give free trials, which is what I did the first time I used it. I used my free trial and I completed about 20 courses in a month because, like I said, it's at your own pace and you get to do as much as you can within that period. Another platform that you can check is Udemy. Udemy has some courses, same thing, subscription based, but the value you get for it is immense. You might also be fortunate to get a free trial. Another one is, don't worry if you're worrying about where to get it. I've already made a list and I will be sharing to our group chats. If you're already on the group chats, I think David will help us with sharing the link to the group chat so that everyone can join and then get the information that I'm talking about. So another platform that I have used in the past towards World Intellectual Property Organization, they actually have an academy where they do patents courses. Some of them have exams, some of them don't. And it speaks well for your profile if you're looking to go into trademarking, patents, or copyright practice. Or even if you're just in general practice, it doesn't hurt to get the knowledge and to also get the certification for it. I don't know if it has closed, but as at the last time I checked, Harvard X also was doing a free course on patent registration. So what I would say is that we have to shall take opportunities of these. A lot of these are either free or cost next to nothing. I mean, those other costs, when you talk about the mediation cost, the arbitration cost, the ICSAN cost, those ones will cost you going to 100,000 or 150,000. I'm not sure. So you might have to plan for those. But in the meantime, because I know that personally, I've always been someone that say, well, I will do this, I'll do this, but when I have the money, and you may not really have it if you don't plan for it or save towards it. And then also, if you keep on waiting for when you have money, you find that time is passing. There are so many things we can do. I mean, I am a very young lawyer myself, but I've been able to listen to counsel from older lawyers, partners, friends, senior colleagues who have, helped me in this regard. You can actually position yourself. You can actually develop your career in stages if you're able to take advantages of these online courses that are available. That's one. Another thing, you have to find a way to talk about relevant legal changes. I mean, all of us use social media, and it's an opportunity for us to not just be consumers but also producers. It's nice if we're able to put out content there and have people. That's how. By the time you eventually get discovered, you may be able to put out content and you're getting 10 likes, 15 views, whatever. But like eventually, when you get that one viral post or when you get that one opportunity or that job or that interview, you've already created a track record for yourself, ensuring that you've always kept up to date on important issues. You've always also shown understanding of these things, and it speaks for you. So please don't be discouraged by a lack of engagement or little engagements. It's an important thing for us to be able to use our platforms, to generate um, traffic on our platforms to help us get clientele and help us get better opportunities. Another thing that I would also like to talk about is setting, measurable targets. It is like the underlying factor of everything I've talked about. So if it is the same thing in reading. Even if you pick a book, there are a lot of books, even on our, group chat. The speakers we had last year left us books, and I'm not sure. I don't know how many of us have read them. And then also, in case for instance, you want to tap into, you have a preferred sector of choice, but you may not have gotten the opportunity to work in that sector. The best thing you can do is to try to read legislation about that sector or pick up books and read about that sector. A lot of us do that, even though we may not be able to tap into that, get opportunity to directly work there. While we are in our line of work, whatever we're doing, any free time that we have, we can also get there and then know how many you want to read per month. Onye is asking how to get in the group. I already mentioned that before the call is over, we have someone, David is on the call with us, and he would help us share the link to the group chat in this meeting chat. I don't know if he has already done that, but that would happen. But yes, all of these material, of these books, we will still share. They're still also on our website, and we those are like the top 5 things I want to talk about. The programs we have coming up, the fact that you can take advantage of courses, certifications. If you can't do that right away, you can take advantage of short courses that you can make in this short time. I would want to confirm if David is on the call. David, are you with us? If not,
Good
then we
evening.
would wrap up. Okay, good evening. And so, please, can you, just carry on from here? We haven't talked about, the essay competitions and the moting competitions we plan to do with law students. We also haven't talked about, making the best of employment opportunities while in a job or while looking. So, those are the only things we have left, and then we wrap up and call it a night. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. All right, so good evening, everyone. Good evening, council. Good evening, law students. Good evening, bar aspirants. Good evening, everyone. Generally, it's so good to be in our face. It's so good to be in our faces this evening, and I'm super grateful that God, in His mercies, has caused us to see another year. It's so beautiful. So first off, on the subject on ground. So let me give a case study. So I have a very good friend, and I have his very kind permission to share this story. We've known from way back as undergraduates, and now he's very, very fine practicing lawyer with Templars. So I'll tell you the story and then I'll tell you his name. So two things were not on his side as regards acing tier one law firms. So he didn't have a very good start in education. He's from the north, so he didn't get to go to school on time. So by the time he was in his final year, he was already in his early 30s. And these law firms usually have a benchmark. So even if you have the good grades, they are looking at you must not be more than 20 something years. And that was his case. However, he told me honestly he was not planning for a tier one law firm, but he was just showing up. So what he was doing as an undergraduate was that he began to write. So he was writing on different aspects of law. He was very, very much interested in mooting, showed up in different moot competitions and all whatnot. He was everywhere per se, not like a busybody, but just being strategic. And then he emerged with a second class offer from the university, proceeded to the Nigerian law school. He was planning for a first class, but a first class didn't happen. And then it was now time to get an employment. And just like everyone would do, he wrote to the law firms, different law firms and everything. But long story cut short, he found himself through the doors of Emblas. And he was telling me one of the days we were discussing, like Chukol, do you know that? So I've mentioned his name. So for those that don't know his name is OG Chukol, Oliver Chukol, finished from Able Uzaria. And does anybody know OG Chukol on this call? Like if you read his article or if you've heard the name OG Chukol, just react so that I can just know that I'm not alone. Does anybody know OG Chukol on this call? Okay, so if you don't know OG Chukol, you could go check. Okay, someone is reacting. So if you don't know him, you could, okay, Bosola says she knows him. Erin says he knows him. Okay, beautiful. So now, so Chukol is like he tells this story anywhere he goes to. So why did I tell that story? So you may be looking at yourself and then you're looking at how disadvantaged you are, looking at the courses you would have done, the courses you would have done, the opportunities you would have jumped upon, the essays you would have written, and all whatnot. And you're looking at this here, and you look, and it seems as though you're backward. See, irrespective of the fact that the odds were against you, there's nothing you can do about the past. But you can begin to take steps from now to measure up. So just like Chukol, knowing fully well that age was against him, but yet he wrote. So he didn't have the best of grace, he didn't have the best of age, but he didn't even lie about his age. He just made sure that he showed that he knew what he was doing, and actually he knew. And then he was able to find his way through one of the tier one law firms in the country today, Templars. Not even just based on, he did the interview, but he went there based on strong recommendation, because lawyers in the firm had been seeing his articles even before he was even called to the bar. Was called to the bar. So irrespective of the odds against you, and this story, while this story encapsulates someone who was on a guard, it also applies towards lawyers. The father of a very good friend on this call, I got to like just confide with him about my situation, how that I have interest both in law and in design. And then I was like, I'm confused. I don't know which one I should do and everything and all. And should I leave the law? Should I do this one and all? Then he asked me a simple question. He said, what do you want to be known for 10 years from today? What do you want to be known for 10 years from today? While it is trite that ambitions change, but purpose does not change. So while it is also true that a number of us on this call are yet to actually crystallize what our purpose on earth is or would be, we will not also deny the fact that there are certain things that you tend to be naturally inclined towards. Things that you tend to be naturally inclined towards. And if you're not naturally inclined towards certain things, there are certain environments. How best are you? What are you making the best of those situations? Are you making the best of those situations? So looking at ourselves as lawyers, as aspiring lawyers, because I know they are bar aspirants on this call, or people who are still in university on this call. Question is, what do you want to be known for in the next 10 years? We had our very, very first session last year, and I think our speaker was Festus Ogun, FO Legal. And for those who are on that call, FO Legal said something that stuck with me. FO Legal said that while you may have the luxury of freestyling or freelancing in your early years of call, that your target as someone who is intentional is that 5 years from my call date, when discussions are made among circle of lawyers, especially the people that know me, let it be that I am known for something. That if there is a challenge now, people can say, let us call in this aspect of law, let us put a call across. Let us put a call across to Onyinye. In this aspect of law now, let us put a call across to Olayemi. In this aspect of law, let's put a call across to Ajakaye. Let us put a call across to Noye. And how would that be? It comes on the premise of intentionality. If you asked most of the people we look up to now in the profession, a good number of them, while some of them were intentional, when I mean intentional, like before they even started, they knew what they wanted and everything. Some of them just arrived at where they are today by mere sheer diligence and intentionality based on the foreseeable realities they had. So what do I mean by that? Let's break it down. So fine and good. A lot of us here do not know where we'll be in the next 10 years. We will not even lie to ourselves. 10 years, we don't really know. We can just plan. We can just plan and everything. But at least with what you have in your hand, we know that okay, talk in the next by in the next 1 month, these things are things I can achieve as a lawyer, as a young lawyer, as an aspirant to the bar. So with that time you have, or with that sight you have, what preparations can you make? Because at the end of the day, a year is made up of the little habits we make every day. The 24 hours is made up of the little things we do every minute. So the long and short of this particular session, that's this our roundtable session, is to the end that each and every one of us. In fact, that is the very core why TENLG exists. That is the Excellent Nigerian Lawyers Guide, to guide Nigerian lawyers along the path of intentionality, to make us see ourselves as who we are, the largest bar in Africa, not by name. You understand? To make us see the potentials that we have. And we are much more privileged. While there's a school of thought that thinks, the legal profession is saturated, one of the visions, one of the core values of the TENLG is to make us see that narrative is in and of itself not proper, not right. We live in a time and age where a lot of areas of law have emerged. We're talking about AI, we're talking about fashion. Intellectual property is a thing. I think in December I put out an article on intellectual property. Recently, I think Sinachi's producer took her to court on the premise of certain licenses on a song that was produced by them, and he's saying that no, he was not just an independent contractor. He deserves more stakes, and he's suing her to the tune of 5 billion naira. A lot of things. The more the business space is getting complex, the more opportunities exist for we, the members of the legal profession. And whilst we have our fathers, our seniors in the profession digging their legs deep in litigation, not to say litigation is not where you can also make a very good fortune, we also have a lot to do in these other emerging areas. Because since we are just coming in the profession, we have because they may be seeing it as going back to start. We are just coming in. Come on, leverage on it. A good number of some of my colleagues, I think 2 of my colleagues, one finished from Kano, one from Lagos campus, 2 of them right now, they started out in a fashion law firm, Cardinal Counsel, principal partner Benny Sassi. You could check them online. They're also the founders of Fashion Law Institute. Fashion law. If you look at what they did last year, it was mind-blowing. A lot of cliche law firms doing the normal did not record what they got in revenue and recommendation. The emerging areas of law. So what I just think, this session is much like Manny said. This session is to intimate us of the programs we're going to be running with throughout the year. That is one. Programs in form of sessions, lectures, competitions that we're going to be looking at running for essay competitions for lawyers, for bar aspirants, and even for law students, and also too why we exist at TENLG, and why you should tell your friends that there is a platform that you could get spurred up to go all out as a Nigerian lawyer. A lot of opportunities. And one way before because we intend this means to be very, very brief. It's not a lecture, but it's just to intimate every one of us as to what we have in store and what we're looking at going forward. Like the name implies, it's a career roundtable. We have a collective career. I also want to mention that, see, it is not improper for you as a lawyer to also have something you're doing, something else you're doing. We call it side hustle. But why I don't want to use the name side hustle is because that name has a it's as if people it has been downgraded. No, no, no. See, the reason why we have been called, or the reason, or one of the reasons for education is for equipping. So you have been educated. You're not just a lawyer, you are an educated person. The reason why you're educated is so that you can also go ahead and prosper in other fields. So if you're here and probably there's anything else you're doing, and in addition to you being a lawyer, see, you're not doing the wrong thing. Insofar as you know you need to be there and you have passion for that area, what you just need to do is that what you're why you need to what the one way you can leverage that space and have a cutting edges. In every area, there is a solution that a lawyer has for that area because there are complexities. And also, too, in every area, there's an order, that there's a nobility that you as a lawyer will bring to that sphere that other persons in that sphere that don't have legal knowledge cannot bring. So begin to think where there is no box. You sell wigs. It sounds funny, right? You. Sorry, Manny, do you say something?
No, no, I'm listening to you.
Okay. I thought someone said something. You sell wigs. You probably you have a furniture house. You have something. Please, if you're don't do that thing without it being registered. You're a lawyer here and you are still actively. Someone say send account number. You're still sending personal account number. RUPC is there. So RUPC allows us to do these things, but so far as you're not doing it personally. So how can you not do it personally? By doing it through a juristic person. So go and get if you have whatever side also you have. This may sound funny. Yeah, you say TNLG as a lawyer, kiniko, and everything. I'm able to use that native phrase, kiniko. So, but you get the point. So we are not going to be just okay, all law professional and everything. We know that every lawyer, even our principal partners, our big shots out there, these people own real estates, the GLISs, the principal partners of DOA. These people own properties. They have other businesses outside of law. But the reason why it's not obvious is because they've already built themselves in law and everything. They have other investments here and there. I'm going to be talking about investment opportunities that you can also venture into as a lawyer and do it and still maintain your nobility as a legal practitioner. So there's a lot we have in store for TNLG this year. And we're encouraging you to jump on the train. We're encouraging you to make sure you don't miss out on our sessions. We have reached out and we are still reaching out. In fact, I don't know if Manny mentioned that we have a session from 3rd of February to I think 7th of February. We have a marathon session. We are bringing fine speakers across different areas, and the target is not just bar aspirants; it's also for practicing lawyers and those looking at. It's called the New Week's Handholding Session. You understand? So it is a lot. There's a lot in store to help you as a legal practitioner, both as you chat towards your law practice and also to other things that you may be doing that may not be law strictly sensu, but also contribute to your well-being. Okay, I'll end on this final note and then we'll be wrapping up. See, one of my senior friends once told me, he's a lawyer, told me that his father told him that there is a lot of wealth in the legal profession. It only takes a lawyer whose eyes are open and whose ears are open. Open your eyes, open your ears. There's a lot. You don't have to be on the other divide of lawyers that are complaining of salaries not being enough. Of this, there is abundance. There is abundance everywhere. Just open your eyes, open your ears. There is abundance. Lawyers are earning in millions. Who says that as a lawyer that was just called, you can't earn in millions? Or let me not say too much before people say I'm talking too much. Okay, let's say thousands. You can earn so much. So we are going to be doing this. Someone is laughing. We're going to be doing this together, and I trust God at the end of the year we'll have every reason to look back and clap for ourselves and give God praise for how far He has helped us. So thank you very much. So Manny, I think that'll be all on my end, and I just call you up to give you the wrap.
Yeah,
Thanks.
thank you very much, David, for a very well considered I'm sounding like I'm thanking my Lord for a well-considered judgment. But anyways, yeah, thank you for your inputs. Thank you for, you know, speaking to us. As we're rounding off, thank you guys for joining us. Well, just would like you guys to be informed. The link to the WhatsApp group chat is in the channel. It's in the chat. Sorry, the meeting chat is being pinned as well. So if you're not there, you can already join. And don't forget that next week we have the contracts and draft and negotiation series with Makana on oil and gas contracts. And the following week we would have a session on entertainment, and then we have our marathon session. And we hope to bring more. We hope that value is provided, value is created, and that everyone is able to benefit from this program. We hope not to bore you any longer, so I would let you go. I don't know if anyone has any questions, maybe about the courses we mentioned, about the links to anything. But if there is no question, I mean, if you have a question, you
Okay,
can
thank you very
unmute
much,
and go
David
ahead.
and Manuel. Thank you very
Okay,
much,
let's
David
go.
and Manuel, and the entire team. So I wanted to find out. I didn't join the call pretty early, so I think I missed a couple of things that we said. I wanted to find out if there was the transcript that probably be shared with on the group or something.
Okay. Yes, the meeting is being recorded, so we usually upload our meetings to YouTube. Maybe in the next day, or by tomorrow I'll be able to send a link to the group chat. I'm sure you've already sent the link to the group, and then you can then follow. You could also catch up on our previous sessions. We mentioned the session with Efoli Go, Daniel Do, and Koye. So you could also catch up on those on our YouTube channel, so that you don't miss out on anything. So thank you. Is there any other question? Okay. Okay, Lucien, please go ahead.
Okay, good evening. Thank you so much,
Matt.
Thank you, David, and every other host. We thank you all for this wonderful session. Okay, my question is, as a lawyer, is it okay to make out time, like give out yourself to other sources of income, like to pursue other means of, like to increase your financial earnings, even when you don't have passion for them, like, because doing so will take you, let's say, we derail you from the path of your passion. So is it advisable to go about raising your financial capacity? Thank you.
David, I think this question is for you.
This is for me. Okay. All right. So, Lucien. So the thing is this. That answering that question would make this meeting longer than we planned. So what we're going to do is this. Just like we said, we're going to have a session where we're going to address this particular question. But just to give you a brief answer, okay? Because the answer I'm going to give you definitely it ought to be long because there are various dynamics to this question you asked. Okay, but it all stems from a place of planning. It all stems from a place of planning and knowing that we are first human beings with diverse passions before we are lawyers. And it's on the premise of those diverse passions that it is possible that irrespective of you being a lawyer with wig and gown and you showing up in court or showing up at the office, there are other things that you can be profitable with or profitable from that necessarily not even be for profit at the first place, or because of how much you show up in that regard, it becomes profitable. For those on LinkedIn, Temi Popula, though Temini Badru is a lawyer, you understand, works at different law firms, but all the while today that lady is doing so much as an amazing worldwide compare. You get, she didn't even start out that thing to make money from it too. You get, so first, it stems from a place that we are human beings before we are lawyers. And as human beings, there are certain passions that we are that we have, you understand? And those passions can be profitable. But beyond profit, can they be a blessing to other people? Because there's only so little solution you can bring to the world, or there's only so little a demography you can reach with your law, with your legal knowledge. But there are persons you can still reach without your legal knowledge. but with other things you have. So it may not even stem from a place of profit in the first place, but it's something you're passionate about. And it may not even be passion in the first place. It may be something that necessity lays on you to do. But because of the refinement you bring to it as a lawyer, value is created and then money flows in your direction. So there are different dynamics. There's a different dynamics. Okay, the lady I mentioned is Temi Ni Badru. Before, she used to be known name Temi Popular, but she got married, so it's now Temi Ni Badru on LinkedIn. You could check out. A very amazing lady doing wonderful things. You could check out a top voice on LinkedIn. So yeah, I think that for now, that's the answer I'll give. On a good day when we have that session, you have an elaborate answer. Thank you very much. Manny.
Okay. Thank you.
Manny, you're mute. In case you're speaking, we can't hear you.
Oh, sorry about that. Yes, I said Lucien had mentioned that her question was answered. So thank you very much for responding to that. I don't know if we have any other questions. Anyone else have a question? If you do, just go ahead and speak. In the absence of questions, I think that's it for our session today. Okay, yeah, David has also said the answer to that question. But yeah. Okay, thank you everybody for joining. Precious, David, Moyo, Efe, Lucien, Onyinye, Busola, everybody that joined, people who have also left the call, Williams, Nonye, Emmanuel, Toyin, Ahmad, Shemilori. Thank you for joining the call, and we hope to see you in our following sessions. The links for the very next program we have is on Saturday. It's the session on energy law, and we hope to see you there. Thank you for joining, and enjoy the rest of your night, and have a fantastic week ahead. God bless you. Take care. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.